This is D Car Lady coming at you. Today we're going to talk about how to identify your target market. All right, a lot of times we're out here and the first thing that we think that we want to have millions of leads, right? We're like, hey man, if we have millions of leads, surely we'll have millions of sales, right? Well, actually, that is not the case, because if you don't have quality leads, right, if you just have leads from all over the place, right, people who they may have opted in, but they really didn't even want to hear what you had to say. They were just being nosy, right? Then that doesn't do you a hill of beans. That doesn't do you any good. What happens is, if you are not actually targeting your market, okay, if you're not actually targeting people properly, then you will be getting leads that are just being nosy, don't really care what you have to say, and you can wind up wasting a lot of time and wind up wasting a lot of marketing dollars. All right, when I first got started, what I thought targeted marketing was a matter of, okay, people would say, okay, well, think about who's most likely to buy your product or your service. And then the first thing we say, because we're in the money-making opportunity niche, right? The first thing we say is, oh, it's women. We want to, focus on driving traffic towards women. Okay, that is nowhere near targeted at all. But don't worry about it, because stick around to the end of this. All right, definitely grab your paper and your pen if that's what you need to do. Take some notes, okay, because we're going to go through this, how to identify your target market, and we're going to do it in a step-by-step manner, okay? So let's dive into it. All right, now first, let me go ahead and share my screen, because there are some notes that I'm going to put up here for you. I'm going to share my whiteboard here. Okay, now one thing that we need to understand, okay, and this, I did not understand this at first either when I started marketing. All right, so I want you guys to understand this. This is an important point right here, okay? Now, when we're talking about a target market, a lot of people think they only have like one, right? No, that is not true. That is not true, okay? You have more than one target, okay? And I'm gonna break this down, so definitely stick around to the end with this here, okay? Because this is gonna be some crucial, valuable information, all right? You actually have more than one target, and I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. Okay, let's say you may say, okay, well, women may be the people who want to buy my product, right? Well, all women are not the same. All right, so you need to dive, deeper than that. It may be women who work in the healthcare field, women who work in the healthcare field and also have children, women who work in the healthcare field, have children, and are a single parent. You see what I'm saying? So that all of that are different. That's different sections of people. And you may say, hey, well, men might like my product too, my product and or service as well. That's a totally different target of people. You may say men from the ages of 35 to 45, men from the ages of 35 to 45 who also have a high school diploma, men from the ages of 35 to 45 who have a high school diploma who also are single parents. Okay, so you see how your product may actually be able to help multiple people, so you have more than one target. All right, now with that being said, one thing I want you to understand as we go through this, now this is very important for you to understand, and I know when you first learned, you probably did not learn it this way, because I didn't learn it this way either. All right, I really thought it was just I was looking for one target. Here's the deal, guys. You actually can make multiple multiple marketing messages, multiple posts if you're doing Facebook, multiple ads, or multiple videos. All right, if you're doing YouTube, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Whether you're doing Instagram, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You can put out multiple marketing messages. Now, I know you say, well, D, I know that. I knew I could put out multiple marketing messages. But what happens is you did not make the connection, right? That, hey, if I can put out multiple messages, that means I don't have to try and be so broad, right? And try and get everybody with one ad. Because when you try and catch everything, right, with one wide net, right, that net got a whole bunch of holes, right? And you wind up spending a whole bunch of time with that wide net, a whole bunch of money with that wide net, and you wind up not catching anything, right? Because you wind up not attracting anything. So it's very important to understand you have more than one target, okay? You can place more than one ad, okay? All right, and when I say ad, I'm not necessarily talking about just paid ads. I'm talking about an ad in general, okay? That means whether it's a Facebook post, whether it's a video on YouTube, okay, whether it is a post on Instagram, okay, or a picture that you put up on Pinterest, right? That's what I mean by ad. So just to clarify that, okay? You have more than one target and you can place more than one ad, all right? So don't be so broad. Don't be so broad. Okay, narrow it down. Narrow it down. Okay, so that means even though you may be trying to market one product, let's just say, you know, you're like, hey, I got this one product, it's a great product, or I have this one service, it's a great service. Okay, you actually can market that same product or service, right, 1,000 different ways, because you can have 1,000 different targets. Who knew, right? I promise you, I did not make that connection when I first started. I literally was trying to catch everybody with one net. That right there will help you to start seeing some of the things that I'm about to teach you today. Okay, now the first thing that we need to consider, and we're gonna use an example. I'm gonna give you guys an example as I go through you know, this step-by-step breakdown. Okay, so that way you guys can really see how it can work in the real world, and then you can start using your imagination and actually using the steps to be able to recreate this in whatever business you're doing. It doesn't matter about the product or service that you have. All right, so the first thing we need to talk about is you need a product. So let's go ahead and draw a product up here. All right, and put this here. Okay, so you're gonna need a product. We're just gonna make this right here say product. All right, and let me change that. Okay, so let's say this is your product right here. All right, you're gonna need a product. All right, and for example's sake, our product is gonna be massage chairs, right? Massage chairs. All right, this, for example's sake, our product is going to be massage chairs. Okay, now as we go through this, don't trip out if I misspell something, right? I'm probably trying to type fast. But anyhow, we're going to use the product of massage chairs. Okay, so you want to consider your product first. So you want to, and as you're going through this, guys, you actually want to write this out. Okay, literally, you want to write this out. You don't want to try and, you know, just think about it in your mind and think you're going to remember. Literally, I wrote it out. So I'm not telling you to do something that I myself am not doing, okay? You want to write it out because it's going to become very clear to you, and you'll be able to duplicate this process if you follow along and write it out with me, okay? Now you got your product here, okay, and or service. Now mind you, it can be a service as well, okay? All right. Now the next thing that you want to consider is what problem does it solve, okay? So let's go ahead and draw that up here, all right, because this is important right here, okay? You need this. You need to know this, okay? Right here, and then we'll go here. It will say problem it solves, okay? Problem it solves. All right, so it's what problem does your product or service solve, okay? And you need to go in this order, guys. I just want to make sure you understand. You need to go in this order. Don't try and skip because you think you already know the answer. Go in this order and you'll get it right every single time, right? And it'll save you some time and save you some money, because time can be money. All right, so now think about what problem does your product and or service solve, okay? Now when we think about massage chairs, you know, just off the bat, you're probably like, oh, well, it solves the problem of a sore, achy body, right? No. Yes and no. Yes, it does, but that is not specific enough, okay? That is not specific. Let's get deeper and more specific, okay? Because a sore, achy body, like my body has like a whole bunch of different parts, right? Hell, I could have a sore ear. Is that massage chair going to solve my sore ear? No, it's not. So let's dig a little deeper, okay? Because this is what you want to do when you're doing this yourself. You want to dig a little deeper. So let's say for this example here, we're going to dig deeper than just a sore, achy body. We're going to say back pain. Then we're going to even dig a little bit deeper, because we can on this particular topic. We're going to say lower back pain, right? Because, you know, you have your back, but you got your upper back, you got your middle back, you know, I don't even know the other parts of the back, but you surely got your lower back too, right? So we're going to talk about the lower back. So you want to narrow it down that specific, okay? And I want to reiterate, guys, remember here at the top, I told you have more than one target so you can create more than one ad. Do not be afraid to narrow it down, because you're thinking this. You're thinking, oh, man, if I narrow it down to that, then what about all those other people who have upper back pain? How am I going to get them to see my ad? Or how am I going to get them interested in what I have to say? Create another ad. Literally, that's the answer, okay? So keep that in mind. That's why I told you that first step up here about understanding that you have more than one target is very important, okay? So now the problem it solves, All right, and our example that we're using for the massage chairs, okay, is lower back pain. Okay, and you guys, you're gonna start to see as this unfolds, you're gonna start to see why it's important to write this stuff down and why it's important to go, you know, in this order and not skip, because it's gonna make your life a lot easier. Okay, so now the problem it solves lower back pain because we really targeted that situation. All right, now that you know specifically what problem it solves, now you're gonna talk about, okay, I know what problem it solves. So now I just need to find the people with that problem. Now that right there is a transition from what we initially are taught. We're initially taught thinking about our product first. Like, okay, we have this product, like we have massage chairs. And then right off the bat, we try to go from we have this product to who's it gonna serve, right? We try to go from product to who's it gonna serve. No, because then you'll be wind up talking about, well, everybody needs a massage chair because I know I like massages and my grandma likes massages. And no, this is why you can't skip this step of the problem it solves, guys. It's very important. Do not skip this step. And I just want to make sure you understand it. Lower back pain, because now you're talking about what people have lower back pain, not what people need a massage chair. Don't worry about that now, because we already made a connection between the product and the problem it solves. So what people, let me go ahead and write this down. Okay, let's write this down here. All right. What people have, and we're just going to say high levels of lower back pain. Okay, lower back pain. All right. So now we know we're targeting lower back pain, right? So we need to know what people, right? What people have a high level of lower back pain. And why am I saying a high level of lower back pain? Because you want people who really feel that pain point, okay? Because the problem it solves is also called the pain point. Let me put that, because you probably have heard that term. So let me put that down here as well, because you probably have heard that term. All right, pain point. Pain point. All right. Yep, I'm gonna spell it right. We're gonna get it. All right, you probably have heard that term, pain point. All right, so the pain point or the problem that your product or service solves, in this case, it solves the lower back pain, and we're going to be looking for what people have high levels of lower back pain. High levels meaning people that really, really stress over that, right? Because if a person only stresses a little bit on it, like, oh, I just have, lower back pain, it's only like once a month. Now it doesn't mean that, if a person, in that case, if a person has it once a month, we might be talking about females with menstrual cycles, right? But they only have that pain once a month, typically. Okay, so don't get your pennies in a bunch if you like, nah, I have mine all month, right? Okay, calm down, right? But typically, right, that's only a short amount of time. We want to target it, but we want the people who really want what we have. Like, we want the people who they feel like they can't live no more without what we have, right? Because those people are more likely to do what? Opt into whatever our link is, join us in whatever it is we need them to join, buy whatever it is we want them to buy, right? Because they're like, please take my money, right? Okay, so I want to make sure you understand why I'm saying high levels of lower back pain versus just saying back pain. You want to find the people who really, really need what you have. Okay. Now you say, well, how do we find those people, D? Well, let's talk about how do you find those people. All right, so let's go over here, and I'm gonna make another box. I'm gonna make another box. That's what I'm gonna make another box. Draw box right here. Okay, and go to. All right, and go here. All right. All right. So how to find them? Okay, locate the people. Locate the prospects. We'll just say the prospects, right? Locate the prospects. All right. Now, how are we going to locate the prospects? All right. There are some things that we need to consider when we're trying to find them, right? It's like we're playing private eye right now, right? Like, where in the world are the people with the back pain, right? Remember that? Where the world's kind of say, there you go. I know y'all remember that, right? So we're playing private eye right now. So we're trying to find these people. So we have to get into their heads, right? Get into their heads, become one with the back pain people, right? Become one with them, right? Excuse me. So you want to look at things like this, okay? If I have this back pain, this lower back pain, right? How did I get it? Because I mean, come on, we're not born with lower back pain. I mean, unless we're born with, dysfunctions and stuff like that. But typically, if you're born healthy, right, you're not born with the lower back pain. So you got it somehow, right? So first thing we think of, and these are just broad categories that I'm about to shout at you, but these are categories you're going to use each time you do this, right? Occupation. We're going to look at occupation, okay? And as it relates to this particular topic here of lower back pain, people can get it on the job. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about occupation. People may have been in an accident. People may have been in an accident, right? And they'll have lower back pain. People may have had surgery. So you say they may have had surgery that gave them some lower back pain. Right? People who are pregnant, right? A lot of people who get pregnant, right? Pregnancy, they get lower back pain, right? So you get the idea that now that we understand it, we're looking for people, right, who have high levels of lower back pain. Now it's a matter of locating those people, locating those prospects. Where are they? Why do they have that back pain to begin with? Well, they probably got it from their job, or they probably got it because they had an accident, or they probably got it because they had a surgery, or they probably have that lower back pain because they got pregnant, right? Okay, now once you narrow that down, now choose one of them. You got some listed. Choose one of them, because once again, remember, we don't want to be so broad. We want to narrow it down. Like, you know how a dart board looks, right? And it'll have a bullseye in the middle, but it'll have all these rings outside of it, right? So right now we started out here, right, on the dart board. We started out here, right? Then we're going further in, because we want to hit that bullseye, because that bullseye is where the money is. And we want to hit that. We want to get as close to that bullseye as possible. So now let's go further and try and get into that bullseye, okay? Now, so we know that these are some categories that will help us be able to locate these prospects. So we're going to choose one. All right, now the first thing that comes to my mind when I'm talking about this particular pain point, which is the lower back pain. All right, we're not talking about the product. We already made a connection of the product. We're talking about the pain point, right? Because, and I want to say this, guys, remember, no matter if you have a product or a service, it doesn't matter, right? Your job is not to try and sell the product. Your job is to sell the solution to the problem. It's not to sell the product. It's to sell the solution to the problem. So if you're out there saying, I got massage chairs on sale and they 10% off, who wants a massage chair? This is why you're not selling your massage chairs, because nobody cares about your massage chairs. They care about their lower back pain. So you're selling the solution to the problem, okay? Just want to make sure you understand that. Now, let's go ahead and get into how we can locate these people. And the first thing that comes to my mind would be occupation, right? Because I know I personally, I used to work as an auto mechanic, and we definitely had back pain, right? Bending over, and pretty much anywhere that you're bending over a lot, you're gonna have a high chance of getting lower back pain. So that's why I'm gonna look at occupation. You can do either one of these, obviously, but I'm gonna look at occupation in this particular case, right? Also, too, because I can think right off the bat on how I can find those people, right, in a certain occupation that have lower back pain. All right. Now, before, we're not even going to guess what occupations, though. Okay, yeah, I was in the automotive field, right? And I have lower back pain because of it, right? But I'm not going to guess. Remember, this is going step by step. We're not guessing, because if you have to guess, then you can't repeat what I'm telling you if I leave you to guessing. So I'm going to show you where to find the prospects, right? And find the occupation that they have, right? Because we're going to use occupation, right? Where they have high levels of lower back pain. All right, now let me go ahead. I need to share a different part of my screen. Let me go to, I need to share my whole screen is what I need to do. All right, so now we're gonna mosey on over we're going to mosey on over to Google. We're going to mosey on over to Google. All right. And what we're going to do, since we're looking at occupations, okay, we're just going to simply say, okay, let's say occupations, and we need to spell it right for Google. Occupations with high levels of lower back pain. Okay, and you may have to search it a few different ways, but let's search it this way first. All right, occupations with high levels of lower back pain. All right, and here's one right here. It says occupations associated with a high risk of self-reported back pain. So let's see if they give us a list of occupations. All right, so click here. And mind you, so far everything that we've used are just free resources for us. So let's go over here and see if they tell us some occupations that have, you know, this back pain here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. And we're looking for a list, if we can find a list. They talk about the activities, results, classifications, engineers, table 2. All right, let me see. I want a compiled list is what I want. Lifting, carrying heavy loads, we know that, but give me a list. Okay, let me see. And this is the same thing, and I'm doing this as I'm telling you guys to do this. So this is the same thing you're going to do. Okay. All right, I don't see the actual occupations in a list. I'm looking for a list just to make it simpler. All right, because telling me industrial foreman, that's not telling me a whole bunch. That's not telling me a whole bunch. That's not telling me a whole bunch right there. All right. Okay, let's go back. Let's do the search again. The same thing. And I may need to say jobs, but let's just go down. High risk jobs. Okay. Let's look at the high risk jobs, and they're talking about back pain because it says your spine. It's talking about your back. So let's go ahead and look and see if they give us a list of jobs. All right. All right, and we're gonna scroll down. And right now, all we just went to is Google to scroll down. All right, Google to search this. All right, and we see he got some back pain right there. Let's go. Risky business. Let's go. All right, and they're listing some occupations here for some workers, construction workers. Okay, construction workers, nursing home workers. Okay. Because off bat, I might not have thought about construction workers because I'm so busy worried about, you know, the back pain that I had myself. But construction workers is actually at the top of the list, so that's good. Okay, and then they have some others here. All right, now we want to pick something that's at the top. We want to pick something that is at the top. So construction workers is at the top, right? So now we're going to narrow this down, and we're talking about construction workers. So let's go back over here. All right, and hold on, because we want to go ahead and share my whiteboard. Let me see if I still got this on my whiteboard. We shall see. All right, I still got it on my whiteboard. All right, cool. All right, now we have this and we narrowed it down. Now let me go ahead and I need to start a new page because I want to make sure that you see all of this in the format that I'm doing it. So let's go ahead and take some of this stuff off, right? We're going to take this stuff off right here because we're going to start a new page. All right, so we're going to take this stuff off. All right, because we done narrowed this stuff down, so we're doing real good. We're doing very, very, very good. Okay, here. Okay, so now we have narrowed it down. We got the occupation, right? And then we narrowed it down to construction workers. All right. And we just found that information on Google. Okay, we didn't guess. Like I said, because when you're left having to guess, then it's hard to duplicate something. If I'm up here guessing and you like, well, how she guessed that? What if my thought process is not her thought process, right? So I don't want you to guess. So we narrowed it down to construction workers. All right, so now we do that, right? So now you have a clear path, a clear vision, right, on the type of people that you're going to target for this particular advertising campaign. Because I need to reiterate again, remember, you have more than one target. You can actually do more than one ad, and I'm not just talking about the paid ads, okay? You can do more than one campaign. All right. So now, once we do that, you say, okay, D, but what do I say to the people in my marketing message? And for those who may be a little bit newer to the terminology marketing message, all that means is, like, if you put up a Facebook post, what does it say? Right? When people go to your funnel, what does it say? What is it talking about? If you put up a video, what are you saying in the video? Right? Whether, even if you put up an Instagram post, what is that picture telling people? Excuse me, that's your marketing message. Okay. So you need to know, okay, well, what am I going to say in this marketing message? I don't know what to say, D. I mean, I'm not a construction worker. It's okay. We're about to go see what other people said that's in that industry that were, promoting to construction workers. How are we going to go see? Watch me. All right. So now I'm going to share my screen again because I need to take you back to another free source. You already know what it is, but I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now we're going to go over here to YouTube, right, to get some information off of YouTube. All right. Now, wherever this pops up. All right. Now, what we're going to do now is we're actually going to search for, we're just going to do a search for the occupation, because remember, we narrowed it down because we're using occupation. We're going to do a search for the occupation that we're targeting and for the pain point, right? Why? Because we want to get an idea of what are people who are already being successful with their campaigns. What are they saying? We don't have to reinvent the wheel, guys, right? You just follow these steps to get to where people already did what you're trying to do. They already won, right? So let's just follow the winners. So let's just go over here and put, let's put lower back pain. Let's put lower back pain, construction workers and construction workers. And you can just put lower back pain construction workers. You don't even have to put in. All right, and let's see some videos on that, okay? And now this is what you're looking for, all right? This is what you're looking for in the videos. Now, this is important, guys. This is important because you're not just looking for any video, right? For one, you're looking for a popular video. How do you know the video is popular? Well, it definitely got ranked well. It's going to be somewhere at the top, right? It doesn't have to be necessarily number one, but it's going to be somewhere at the top. It's not going to be on like page 5. We don't want that, right? We don't want him or her, right? Then what you're going to look for is you're going to look for videos that have over 50,000 views, okay? Because what that's going to do, for one, is letting you know that that video has been watched a lot of times, so it's popular with the people, but that's also going to help kind of weed out the people who got views by, like, you know, they're not real views, right? It's going to kind of weed out some of the people who have views that are not authentic views, okay? So we want to kind of weed that out, and we want popularity, okay? So we come over here and we locate in a video. This is one right here that has 554,000 views. So this would be a good candidate, right? So what you would do is you would watch this video and see what they're talking about, because they're talking about construction workers, and they're talking about spine adjustment, but it's all dealing with your back. So you're going to get an idea, right, of what to say, the scripts to use, right, from watching the popular videos. So this is definitely one that you would watch. Let's see another one. This one is a channel, but he got like 29 subscribers, so we're not gonna do him. This one, okay, this is a good one right here. Low back pain fixed by full body chiropractic adjustment, right? The fact is low back pain, right? This is one right here, okay, that you want to get some ideas of what to say from this video, okay? Because look, it has 131,000 views, okay? And let's see one more. All right, that's a good one right there. Let's see another one right here. Okay, all right. Right here, amazing back cracking, low back pain relief. Okay, right here. This has 505,000 views. Okay, all right. So it has a lot of views, right? So if these are not authentic views, that person spent a whole bunch of money in 3 weeks. Right? Like, so we're gonna count that as good to go. All right. So these are some videos. This is how you find the videos that you want to look at and you want to emulate. Okay. Now, let me take you back here because I want to go ahead and make sure you understand some things here. Let me take you back to my whiteboard. All right, let's take you back to the whiteboard here. All right, text here. All right, so we're gonna find popular videos with your target words, with your target words. Okay, and in this case, we're talking about construction workers and lower back pain. Okay, now, because I know you're thinking like, well, some of those weren't talking about construction workers. This is where you literally just think. Watch me, just think. Now, if you legit don't know what a construction worker does, right? And you might not, and that's totally fine, right? You can literally Google, what does a construction worker do? Why would you do that? So that way you can kind of get in the mind of a construction worker if you don't already know what a construction worker does. Okay, you don't have to know what he does at 9 a.m. or he or she does at 9 a.m. what they do at 10 a.m. You just need to know in general, what does a construction worker do? If you don't know, then you can Google, what does a construction worker do? But in this case, I'm betting that you probably have a very good idea of what a construction worker does. Okay, now you're going to, when you construct your ad, once you find these unpopular videos, okay, you're going to construct your ad message. We're not just talking about a YouTube ad, guys. Okay, we're not even talking about paid advertisement, but you can use it the same way on paid advertisement. You know, whether it's paid or free, whether it's video, whether it's a post, you're going to do the same thing. Okay, no matter what platform it's on. Okay, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to construct it, all right, based upon, in this case, we're talking about construction workers. So we want to hit the points of, okay, for one, you want to give them something of value, all right? Give something of value on your message that hits a pain point, all right? And I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean by that, because this needs to be part of your message. And you're going to get that information from the videos. And I'm going to show you, it was either 1 or 2 videos that I saw that. And I'm going to show you exactly what I saw so that you can understand what I mean by give them something of value, because I'm not talking about giving them a free trial. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about giving them a free pillow with I don't even know if massage chairs comes with free pillows, right? I'm not even talking about no free pillow, right? That's not what I'm talking about. Something that they feel is valuable. You got to say, well, what do they feel is valuable? Well, if I'm in pain, even if I'm, you know, I'm open to getting a massage chair, right? I'm in pain. What do you have for me right now? What can you tell me right now? As I'm sitting in this chair in pain, watching your YouTube video, right? Your massage chair is not right here at the moment, right? Doesn't mean I don't need it or want it, but what you got for me right now, right? So that's what I mean by give them something of value right now that addresses their pain point. Okay, not talking about I'm gonna give you a free vacation. They're like, man, my back hurts. Nobody trying to take no vacation. My back hurt. Okay, understand what I'm saying? Hitting that pain point. So let's go back over to the videos because I want to show you what I saw. All right, let me show you what I saw on those, because this is going to help you construct your message. All right, now this person right here is talking about back cracking, right? So don't you think if you watch that video, right, that you're going to learn some steps, right, in this 14-minute video, learn some steps. If you don't already know how to do something with back cracking, I would watch this little video on back cracking. You say, why? You don't want them to crack your back. You want them to buy your massage chair. Guys, you telling them how they can do some back cracking or some stretches. There was another one about stretches too. There was another one about stretches. Let me see. Okay, this is a good one here too. It says severe lower back pain, a construction worker improved with chiropractic care. All right, and he's doing some stretches there. All right, you can see the video doing some stretches. All right, so you would give them that value information. So your video or your message, right, would literally, right, have information about these stretches that they're doing, right? So it'll go something like this. I know you reached this video because you're tired of suffering that lower back pain. You're out working hot hours underneath the sun as a construction worker. And I know you've probably been doing it for some years too, but you love to pay. It's okay. I want you to keep doing what you're doing. I got some free tips for you. Number one, lay on your back, right? Now, I haven't watched this video, so I don't know what they say. I'm just looking at the picture. Number two, lay on your back, have someone hold it look like a sock, hold a sock up over your leg and raise it up. Basically, you're going to say whatever they said, right? Because these are things that they don't actually have to go to a doctor for, right? You're going to say whatever this person is telling them to do, right? Whatever the stretches are that they're telling them to do, you're going to tell them, hey, this is something that you could try. No, I'm not a doctor. You know, definitely say that. No, I'm not a doctor, but this is something that you could try for your lower back pain to help you with something right away, right? And you say, well, D, how is that going to help you sell chairs? We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Because you got to stop thinking that you're going to be able to sell somebody something without giving them something, right? And your discount is not what's going to alleviate their problem right then. Your discount is not it. It is not it. Just the fact that you got a massage chair is not it. You know how many people got massage chairs? Okay, so I want you to understand that. All right, so let's go back to my little whiteboard right here. All right, so give them something of value, okay, that hits their pain point. All right, like a how to in this example, like how to stretch, okay, how to stretch to alleviate the lower back pain temporarily. All right, because we know it's temporary, right? We know it's temporary. All right, temporarily. All right, now this is where you're then going to introduce your product, or if you want to, you can lead them to your product. You can lead them to, if you just want to build your email list off of this, you can lead them to a ebook that has more step-by-step guide on how they can alleviate their back pain, so that way you get them on your email list and warm them up even more, right? Okay, but this is where that's going to happen. After you give them this message, this information, this value content, right? Once you give them this value content on these things they can do to help them right now with their back pain, right? Then that's when you're going to go ahead and plug and pitch what now you have after you've given them this value content. You can do it right there on the video, or like I said, you can use this for just building up your email list and say, hey, if you want more tips on how you can alleviate your back pain as a construction worker, then go ahead, hit the link down below, and we'll send that right out to you free of charge if you're giving them some free tips, right? Or you could go right into, hey, these stretches definitely do work to help alleviate this lower back pain or a temporary situation. However, Mr. Construction Man, Mr. Construction Worker, right? If you have been dealing with this for a long time, I understand your pain. You want to empathize, right? People will buy from you if they feel that you understand them. If they feel that you understand their problem, they will buy from you even if they don't know you, because they instantly feel like they know you. Like, oh, she understands me. He understands me, right? So they feel a much tighter connection to you. Then you can then plug what you have. Say, you know, if you've been dealing with this for a long time, right? And I know you probably cannot take a lot of days off of work to go to the masseuse every other day. Here is, boom, my product, right? Now, mind you, we didn't go straight to the massage chair. We gave them some value that could help them in the meantime. Don't worry about, right? Don't worry about you give them this value. You're like, well, D, you told them how to alleviate it, you know, in the meantime. So now they're not gonna buy that massage chair. No, they came searching for a reason. They looked at what you had for a reason. They looked at your Facebook post and read it for a reason, right? Because they wanted to see what the answer was, or whatever the solution was, right? Because remember, you targeted these people, right? You didn't just go into a Facebook group of people who are putting up pictures of their food, right? Like a food Facebook group, and put up a post about lower back pain, right? Because they're like, is that food? Like, what dish is that? Like, this is a food group. What are you talking about? You understand? That's why we went through all of that targeting, so you understand now when you're talking to your target audience. You're talking to your target market, right? You're not talking to everybody else. You're only talking to them. So now they understand that you understand them, right? So now they're more likely to go ahead and say, man, he or she helped me out with these value tips, I at least want to subscribe to your channel. I at least want to go ahead and click onto their link to get other value tips, because man, my back hurts right now. And let me see if this stuff worked that they talking about, right? Because they know they're going to have that back pain tomorrow, or, you know, in the next few days. And then they're going to already be acclimated to you, right? Because you targeted them properly. Now they're looking at your massage chair that does what? Solve lower back pain. They don't care that it's a massage chair. They care that it solves their problem. That's what a person is looking for, a solution to their problem. And then once you target them and you put out the message that talks to them, now they see your product as the solution, not just as another product, right? So now you are light years ahead of everybody else out there talking about, we have massage chairs on sale at 50% off. It normally costs $5,000. Now we're going to sell it for $2,500. Yeah, that's because they're probably not selling a whole bunch of massage chairs because they're marketing wrong, okay? But after going through this training, you're not going to be marketing wrong. So this is very important for you to understand. And like I said, after you do this, and let me put down here as, you know, closing step here. All right. Then plug your product or service or get them onto your email list so that you can follow up. Is to follow up with more value content, All right, you want to be following up with some more value content, and you will eventually be able to sell them, or they will wind up selling themselves, you know, onto your product. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Now, we need to go a little bit deeper into this, just a tad bit deeper, guys, okay? Because now you have an idea, you know, of what to say. You definitely know how to target them now, right? But part of it is still being able to talk to them, all right? It's still being able to talk to them. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let me erase this, and we're gonna get down to the next part of this, right? To the rest of this. So I want you to be able to do this all the way through, all right? So let's take all this off right here. All right. Now, next thing we're going to talk about, when you're putting up your ad, you know, whether it's on Facebook, it doesn't matter, right? When you put up your ad, we're going to talk about your ad verbiage, your verbiage. All right. Verbiage means, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? Okay. What are you going to say? All right. Let's talk about what are you going to say. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We're going to try that again. There you go. All right. What are you going to say? Okay. Let's talk about your ad verbiage. Okay. Now, remember when we did, you know, all the target and everything like that, right? Now, this is also why it's important to target, because now it is now time to talk about your verbiage, right? You already have thought about, okay, you thought about, you know, where this person worked and everything. You probably thought about, you know, how old this person is, you know, the demographics. This is where this comes in handy, because you don't want to be, even though you're down to the lower back pain, right? And we're down to the construction workers, but you still want to talk to certain people, right? You still want to talk to certain people. So you want to say, okay, well, you know, with construction workers, you say, okay, well, typically construction workers are not young people. Typically, they're not like 18, typically, right? Typically the construction workers, you know, probably around like 40, 45, 50, somewhere around there, right? They're a little bit older. So when with your verbiage, right, you want to talk to a certain age group, all right, if that's relevant. In this case, it is. Talk to that age group. All right. So what do I mean by talk to that age group? Okay, I want to give you an example of what I'm talking about. All right. So in this particular age group, we're not dealing with people who are like 18 typically. And when I say typically, don't say, well, yeah, my brother works in construction and he's 18. Well, he's not the typical. And we're looking for the typical, because that's going to give us, right, those highly targeted and be able to use our time and money wisely. Okay, that is not the typical. All right, so talk to that age group. What I mean by that is, when you're talking in your message, your marketing message, your video, your ad, right, you're going to use words that relate to your target market, right? And in this case, when we're talking about age, let's say, for example, we're talking about people who might be like 40, 50 years old. You might not, let's say, you might not talk about 50 Cent. 50 Cent or Cardi B, right? You might not talk about 50 Cent and Cardi B, right? Why? Because think about your target market, right? Think about that construction worker. They probably, all right, construction worker, all right, likely works long hours. All right, because remember I told you to look up, if you don't know what a construction worker does, you know, I just told you to Google that. What does a construction worker do? And you're going to find information that lets you know that construction workers typically have long hours. Okay, it's a rough job, right? If you don't already know that, it's a rough job, right? So they likely work long hours. So with that being said, think about it. If you're a construction worker, right, you're already dealing with some lower back pain, right? You working long hours, you come home, right? You just worried about soaking in a tub or something, trying to alleviate that pain. You know, you've been gone for 10 hours, maybe 12 hours, right? The first thing on your mind is not catching up with the newest album from 50 Cent or the newest talk from Cardi B. That's like not your first thing, right? So you're not going to be able to relate to them if that's, you know, the verbiage that you're using, right? You're talking about, oh yeah, 50 Cent had back pain. They're like, who is that? You lost them, right? So you want to speak their language. That's why it's important to understand who your target is. When you narrow that down, it's important to understand exactly who they are. Google is your best friend and it's free, okay? You want to talk their language, all right? So also another thing that you want to hit on is income, okay? You want to understand the income range that you need to be in, okay? Now, why is that? Because you have to look at your product or service, right? Now, if your product only costs like, I don't know, $20, right? Then you have a whole bunch of people who, you know, more than likely can afford and feel that they can afford, you know, your product. But when you're dealing with this product, remember, we're talking about massage chairs, right? Massage chairs, you know, can literally get, you know, into the thousands, like maybe $1,000 to $3,000. How do you know that? I'm going to show you how you know that. I'm going to show you how you know that. All right. I'm going to show you how you know that. You literally come over here and put in massage chair prices. And obviously, if this is yours, then you know how much yours costs, right? But let's just say, you know, you're putting this together to practice or whatever. You can look and see how much, you know, different ones go for, all right? They got one at 600. Well, that's Walmart. So I'm not saying nothing about Walmart. But, you know, look at these other ones right here. They're in the thousands, right? So you're going to look and see what is the price point, you know, especially if it's your product, you know how much your product costs. So that's why you want to look at income, right? Why? Does it mean that if a person makes $30,000 a year, that they can't afford your $10,000, you know, massage chair? Does it mean? No, but we're going off of typicals. Remember, I told y'all, we're going off of typicals. We're not worried about that 1 in a million person who manages their money perfectly and they manage their credit perfectly, and they want they have A1 credit, and they want to put that $10,000 thing, that's 30% of their income, on their credit card to pay for the massage chair. We're not talking about that one lonely dove. We're not talking about that fella. All right, we're talking about the multitude of people who already can afford, right, without putting themselves into a whole bunch of debt, that they have a higher likelihood of being able to afford it simply because their income is higher. Okay, that increases the likelihood that they will be able to afford it. Okay, so you want to keep that in mind. So let's go back to our board here. You want to keep that in mind. That's why you're looking at income, because you're looking at how much your product costs. Okay, so consider your product or service cost. Okay, all right. And that's going to help you construct your message, right? You say, how is that going to help me construct my message? This is how. When you're talking, if you've narrowed it down and you know you're talking about construction workers and you understand that they work long hours, right? So they're probably not up on the newest talk, right? And you're talking about income-wise, right? Then you're going to be let's say you know your product is an expensive product, or we're not going to say expensive because expensive is relative, right? We're going to say we know your product is an $8,000 product. Okay, it is what it is. Price is $8,000. Okay, and you're gonna say, okay, look, what type of verbiage am I gonna say to this person, right? I'm not gonna be so concerned with on this message, right? With telling this person, and if you act today, You're gonna get $100 off. If you don't know, let me tell you, okay? Number one, right? If a person can afford, right, or feel they can afford an $8,000 massage chair, your $100 discount pretty much meant nothing, okay? Typically. And don't say, oh, well, everybody likes to save money. That's not going to get them to buy your $8,000 massage chair. Your $100 off is not going to get them to buy your massage chair, right? They're looking at the fact that they have back pain. They will pay the full $8,000. When you have a problem, it doesn't matter if it's a $30 product, right? When you have a problem and you see a solution to your problem, right? You see that solution. Whoo, man, that solution, that person is in front of me because other people didn't take this training and they didn't do the targeting properly. So those people are not in front of them. You're in front of them, right? And you already have went through pricing your product and everything. You already know you priced it right, right? So you're not going to be so concerned with worried about telling somebody, and if you act now, you can get $100 off, and thinking that's the value, because you don't want to get stuck on thinking that's the value, right? Because remember, I literally told you, right, the value is something that can help them right now, especially in this particular case with the construction workers. Something can help them right now is doing the stretches, okay, can help them help alleviate their pain right now. That $100 off, I'm sorry, is not helping alleviate their problem right now. They're not worried about your $100 off on an $8,000 product. They're just not, okay? So that's why it's important to understand the income level so you can talk to the right people and talk, right, what is going to matter to them. Talk about what's going to matter to them, okay? So let me put that in there. Talk about what matters to them, okay? Because you're talking to them. You're talking to that target market. You're not talking to other people who can't, who maybe feel that they can't afford your product, okay? Now, let's talk about as it relates to working long hours, the thing that you want to keep in mind there, okay? And these are all things that you want to keep in mind as you're putting this together. Their routine, okay? All right? Now, we talked about the routine as it relates to them working long hours, okay? So typically, if we're talking about the routine of a construction worker, and by now you're able to put these things together because you already looked up what does a construction worker do, right? It's not like they do something that you never heard of, right? You just might, didn't know what they did, but you looked it up on Google. What does a construction worker do, right? So now you know what they do. They lift stuff, right? They lift stuff. They work in adverse weather conditions, right? So a typical routine, if that was you and you lift stuff and you work in adverse conditions, meaning you work in the heat, you work in the cold, these are just things you do. You're wearing construction boots, so it's not the most comfy thing on your toes, right? So you're standing up. If these are the things, this is your routine, then what are you doing, after hours? What are you doing? You want to relax. Relax at home, okay, after work. All right. Why does this matter? Because once again, when you're constructing your message, these are the little trigger words that you want to use, right? Something like, I know when you get off of that 12-hour shift, you just want to relax, don't you? Right? Just that trigger word. And they're like, oh, she understands me so well. Yes, I want to relax, right? Like literally, people will respond when they feel that you understand where they're coming from. And that's why you want to do this breakdown so that you can speak the language, even though your video may only be 5 minutes or 3 minutes, whatever it is, even though your post may, only be like a paragraph or something like that, or may even just have an image, right? May even have an image, right? You may have a split screen image. One, he's hunched over, holding his bag, and in the other split screen, right? He's over there laying down or leaning back in this uncomfortable chair, right? And just gave you a visual, right? So this is why you're going to do these steps, so that way you can construct your message appropriately, right? In addition to anything that you read. Okay, hold on. That wasn't, y'all can't see that screen. I thought y'all could see that screen. Let me go back to that. Okay. Anything that you watched on the videos, because I showed you how to get to the videos, right? How to get to the targeted videos, right? Anything that you watched over there, you're also going to pick that up as well. So that way you don't have to start from scratch with this stuff, right? You're following down a process, and then your juices start flowing. You're like, oh, Yeah, I know exactly how to find out what a construction worker does. I know exactly how they feel now because doing that would make me feel like that too, right? And you see how easy it gets when you start at the right point. All right. Now, excuse me. Now, the main thing that you want to do, all right, as we conclude this, the main thing that you want to do, all right, this is, I'm going to say the main objective, okay? The main objective, okay, is to sell stuff. That's the overall objective, to sell stuff. I don't care if it's someone joining you in an opportunity, right? You're selling whatever product that is for them to join. If it's massage chairs, it's selling that, right? That's the main objective. However, okay, all right, but your path must be crafted. All right, and just hopefully y'all spell check stuff, right? All right, but your path must be crafted. The crafted is all those steps that we went through, right? And it doesn't take as long as this video did. It's just because I'm explaining it to you guys, right? But your path must be crafted, right, to reach the main objective. Because if you're into, whether it be, you know, sales, if you're into network marketing, it doesn't matter, you know, what you're into, right? Your end objective is to sell stuff, for a person to pull out their wallet and pull out their credit card and buy something, right? Whatever it is, that's your end goal. But to get to that end goal, your path must be crafted to reach that main objective. And these steps are how you craft it and reach that main objective. So that way, when people look at whatever it is you have to offer, instead of you thinking that you need to have millions of people looking at it, it makes no difference if you have a million people looking. If it's a million people who feel that they can't afford your product, million people who don't even need your product, million people who think they don't need your product, million people who don't like your product, all those people, right? Because if you don't target, you're going to be talking to all those people, right? And you're wondering why, oh, I have so many leads in my back office and none of them have paid for anything. Why haven't they paid for anything? Possibly you didn't go through the crafted steps, right? Of course, you're going to have some people, a lot of people don't buy right away, but if they just sitting back there and like you got, you know, 2 people who bought stuff and you got like 1,000 people who didn't buy anything and they're not even messaging you back on your emails or anything. They're not responding to anything. Those are wrong people sitting back there. But it's not because they're wrong. They're wrong because your marketing was wrong, because you did not craft the message to get to your end goal, okay? You can reach your end goal. You can get what you want, but you got to give people what they want, all right? And I need to put that up here. I'm going to erase this and I'm going to put it up because this is a big message here that I need to, you know, leave you with. And yes, it sounds cliche, but it's so true, okay? It's so true, okay? You can get what you want. You can get what you want, but you must give people what they want, okay? You can get what you want, but you must give people what they want. And in this case of the example of what we did, we were talking about the solutions for the lower back pain as it relates to the construction workers. We want to give them what they want, give them a solution, give them some relief. And they will give you what you want. They will pull out that credit card and buy your $8,000 massage chair. And like I said, the same thing goes for any industry that you're in, okay? Now, if you have watched this video, if you happen to be catching it on YouTube, definitely like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell, because you know I'm bringing it to you every single week. Tips, tricks, tools, right? Mindset, training, right? If you say, hey, D, I want more of this. I want more of this type of training so that way I can, you know, finally make some money online, make some money in my business, or increase the money that you've been making, then you definitely want to connect with me in Messenger or text message. All right. If you watch this on YouTube, you have a Messenger link down below, and you'll also have my cell phone number that you can text me. Okay. All right. Now that you thoroughly understand how to identify your target market, All right. The very first link in the description, if you want to find out my #1 money making opportunity online, just go ahead and crush that link. Also, to find out about being a part of my Advanced Marketers Academy, okay, you could definitely click that link as well. This is in pre-enrollment status, so if you don't find the information there, then just reach out to me on Facebook and Messenger so you can find out how you can take advantage of some of the really cool things that we have going on. We're talking about learning in depth how to market on YouTube, okay, learning how to properly market on Facebook. And we're talking about marketing that's going to actually get you sales. You follow through with the training, then you are going to be successful. Okay, we're talking about live Q&A coaching sessions every single month to help you out as you go along in your marketing career and your online business. All right, you're going to have access to my high converting email sequences, my high converting funnels. Okay, so that way you can actually close sales. And we're talking about high ticket sales. All right, this academy is all about closing high ticket sales, okay, in your business, because at the end of the day, guys, high ticket sales is actually what's going to get you to that financial freedom a lot faster. Okay, so that's definitely the focus there. Like I said, there's going to be thousands of dollars worth of training and ongoing support. Okay, so you definitely want to be a part of that. Crush that link or reach out to me in Messenger to find out more. Other than that, guys, you already know. This is D Card Lady, and we're going to take this ride to the top, baby. All right, and I'm out.